In the book, we talk a lot about responsibility and discipline. How do you tie that into your leadership style?
I mentioned to my team sometimes that yeah, discipline it's something that you acquire since you are very young, and that pays you very good dividends if you follow that. Although it will be silly to tell you that we are always disciplined and we believe in discipline and we are so happy in discipline. But I said to my teams, if discipline does not wake you up, it's responsibility, which is gonna make that stake for you or that take for you. So I think it's a combination because once you see that being disciplined brings you peace to your life, because that's what really brings you. It brings you a clear roadmap where you're going, where you're heading, and that you got to act accordingly. I mean, it's not that you wake up and just suddenly the things will happen. It is the discipline that will lead you there, and sometimes might not be the best attitude for that, but at the end of the day, when you fulfill that, you see that it was worthy to do it. Whether if it's 100% discipline or a combination between discipline and responsibility.
That's a great, you said the word peace. Um, I don't think people recognize that. I don't think people understand that the bedrock of achievement is peace, joy, and happiness. And you hit on that so well when you talked about using discipline and responsibility to get to that place. That's just a beautiful way you put that together, and very interesting how you apply that in your style with the people that you work with. I also talk a lot about measurement. In the book, I repeat over and over again, measure everything, measure everything. How do you apply that principle in your day to day?
It's you yesterday in your seminar you delivered something that you just resound that again in me, and it is the quality of questions. The quality of questions that you make to yourself, where you want to go, how you want to achieve it, with whom. All those questions lead you to go systematically to search about the information, to go and be curious. I would say that's another word. It's to be curious about what if. What if I just see what this measurement is saying? I said to my teams as well that the numbers speak so loud that if we don't hear, it's because we don't want to. But numbers, graphics, objectivity brings you away to stay away from perception. Perception blocks you, and perception deceives you, and perception leads you to frustration. The evidence is when you measure something tangible that is just trying to tell you what is there. What you do with it, it's up to you.
Well, you explained that better than I can explain it. That was a really
I read
good
your book.
response. Curious, I'm going to take that one from you, by the way, and you'll hear that today in today's seminar. I'm going to use that one. I like curious. That's a good one. Here's one I'd like you to share with us. The world's changing, and I think we can all agree the world's changing, and it's going to continue to change. I think the speed at which change is coming at us is only going to accelerate. I think everything's going to change. The information age is upon us and past us, and information comes so fast. So, what's the future hold, particularly in relationship? And I reflect on this a lot. We're at a point in our career we tend to depend on our experience. We look backwards. Today, more and more of the young people are coming in the workforce, and that's going to continue. And I think there's going to be more and more in that in our workforce. What's your vision? What do you think? What do we have to do moving forward to be inclusive and open opportunity to young people and give them the opportunity to grow and be successful?
Well, we're dealing with two generations now. We speak a lot about millennials, but now what about the zillennials, which are now 24 years old? So I think looking in different perspective, millennials are looking for opportunities, for growth opportunities. They're looking for us to hear their voice, which our generation it's a troublesome generation because we are not like they were, and we are not like they are. So we are really that buffer between that transition. So We got to be more open to listen and to see the world the way they see it. They want to innovate, they want to experiment, and sometimes they found themselves that we are setting so much boundaries for them, so much rules for them. And millennials are rulers. They like
I love that rulers.
they're rulers. I mean, as much as you want to implement a rule, as much they're gonna be bold and not to follow it. And that's their nature. I think they're coming here to transform companies, and we got to let them do it. Of course, following them, accompanying them, coaching them.
But how do we prepare our management, our leadership that we have today, to work with them, to understand that difference? And, you know, I think about this a lot. And personally, my approach to millenniums is not much different than my approach to baby boomers, right? You said it just a moment ago. It's listen, right? I think leadership 101 is listening. You know, you heard me talk about it yesterday. It's dealing one-on-one with people and trying to understand what's driving them, what's their want, what's their need. I think dealing with millennials is the same. I may not like some of the stuff that would be what drives them, but if I'm going to be an effective leader, I have to learn to listen and hear that and figure out how to apply that within the organizational structure to where they can grow. They can buy into that, right? And I think the secret's that. My challenge that I think about at night, and I'm going to ask you, is how do we transmit that on into our present leadership to not feel threatened, not be fearful, but learn to take advantage of that, to maximize the opportunity, because it is an opportunity.
Millennials have to do their part as well. They also got to commit to it, because since it's not clear the path in which we want them to evolve, they are there like in a gray area in which they do not take compromise. I mean, they know we need them because they are the next generation. Although the ones that for me has great value are the ones that step forward. The ones that you and me go for the opportunity. The ones that are prepared for that. The ones that propose no matter what happens or what the outcome is, no matter how many no's. That kind of resilience, it's very particular in our generation. It has to be transmitted to them that they got to deal with frustration. But to brief the question and tell you what would I do, what do I do currently with my teams? I provoke them. I provoke them to challenge themselves. Sometimes they like it, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they try to go to the safest area and look for someone that is gonna hold them back in case I really push hard. So
Of course.
I got to be very careful with it. Although there's very valuable people that if we really commit us as leaders with them and them with us, they can really be promoted very soon. Very,
Don't
very
you
soon.
find your best leaders, though, are those that do that less and less? I've experienced that. And it's going to happen. I mean, Jesus, we're human beings, and I probably fall into that trap as much as anybody. I have to stop myself, look in the mirror, and say, hey, you're responsible, right? But I have found that most the people in leadership have a tendency to do that less and less. And I think if they transmit that message to the people they work with, they were helping those people to grow. And at the end of the day, that's our job. If we can help people grow, that's where the benefit is. So talk to me, share with me, if you had to put one success story in mind, who's been your greatest success in helping them grow?
Oh,
Sneak question. I didn't give you that one pre-programmed.
no, that's fine. No, I have the answer right away. Might not be in my business endeavor, but my best examples are my daughters.
Great answer.
Really, it was not an easy times when they were growing up, not easy time for me, although I mean, they're my pride, really. Now, in the work environment, my mission is to prepare women. And
I love that. That's a great,
I
great
mean, I
message.
have very clear what I do in environment. I know what my mission is. I know that if they trust me, which is the first thing, I got a bond with them, and they follow me. Women are my priority,
Great
and I have
response.
seen many of the women surrounding me that have been stepping forward. They can do more if they want, and I'm going to be there to help them.
And I just want everybody to know that Lourdes is a living example of what she speaks. She spends a lot of time working with that association, which is a total voluntary position. Um, Although many people may think that they actually get a reward there, you don't. She also works with a very large female
Mhm.
empowerment group and does a lot of work with that group in local businesses and promoting people forward on that. So that you do live what you're saying, and it's great because I think, and in the book I talk about this. I think in life people hear our actions much louder than they hear our words. I think that if we are an example, we live what we say, then our actions speak so loudly it drowns out our words. And I think you are a great example of that, Lourdes. I want to thank you for coming in today and spending time with me. This is podcast number 4 for Make It Happen Leadership. And before we close, what else? What do you want to share?
Thanks for this momentum. I probably you do not see how important it is to give voice to women, but it is so important that we can transmit what we feel, what we think, and not because of us. Ego does not have a show here. It is about to be listened by others which are in this time needing probably that kind of words, that kind of push. What you are doing is very valuable. I've been listening your seminar. Yesterday was the second time, and every time I go out with something good for me that gives me clarity. So I appreciate that you are doing this and to keep inviting people to speak out with you.
Thank you very
Mhm.
much, Louis. Thank you for your kind words. And the book is Make It Happen Leadership, a simple blueprint for bold leadership. Highly recommended to everybody. Thanks everybody for tuning in today. This is our 4th podcast. This will be a series of interviews where it's not me being interviewed, it's me interviewing another person, getting other people's input and impact. I want to thank all of you for your time today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.